won't tolerate a fake what I made up history. If you like to where you're taking chances, she's blue, paranormal, searching for the truth. Is it a man in a mask who knows for a demon? What is it like? What is the reason? She is blue, paranormal.
Hey guys, just a quick intro to this episode. Some of you may know that we lost a good friend in the community a few weeks ago, Sonny Conway. I've spoken to his wife Dee and asked permission to use Sonny's stories that he told on my channel and on his about his experiences with Bigfoot, a skinwalker. He's even got one with an alien. But anyway, this episode focuses on mainly his Bigfoot experience, and I thought you might all find it quite interesting. There's video footage, he explains everything. Sonny was not one to tell tales. In fact, he'll explain to you himself later in the episode how he feels about people who fake content. I would ask that you enjoy the episode, and should you feel so inclined to throw a super chat or a super thanks or anything like that at Sonny, not me. Obviously, he can't get them because his Sonny's channel was never monetized. But I have put a link in the description box below, which is the family's GoFundMe page. Obviously, with his sudden death, the family's struggling, and they're proud. They're proud. So it's very hard to ask for help. But should you feel so inclined to throw a super chat Sonny's way, that's how you do it, from the link below. And that's all I'll say on that. And I wish I wasn't putting this episode together. I wish Sonny was still with us. And just enjoy the episode and his stories. And comment in the comment box below, and let me know what you think. And thanks for tuning in. Enjoy. Thank you. And here is Sonny.
What's up, y'all? How's it going, guys?
So, yeah, guys, this is Sonny. And as I say, he's got his own channel. So go and check it out at some point. Paranormal Chop Shop.
Right.
Yeah, I was watching the boys one night, and Sonny, well, I just said then to Enzo, you've probably got lots of Bigfoot stories, lots of strange stories, but there was one in particular that made me laugh because I thought if it were me, I just wouldn't have set camp there at all. But you can tell whatever story you want, Sonny. But
Okay, this
yeah.
is what happened. I was there hunting. I'm above Shaver Lake in California. At probably around 7,400 feet, 7,200 feet, somewhere in between there. I came out of my trailer, and I want to say it was Friday morning because I do my shows on Fridays usually. I came out of the trailer and honestly thought somebody was messing with me. I found a print on the outside of my trailer of, it looks like a big human footprint. It's just way too big. Okay. and I wear a size 11 for my hunting boots. They're Ariat size 11 boots. They're pretty big. And I put my foot up next to it in this video, and you guys will clearly see how much bigger it is than my foot. Okay, guys, I do run Paranormal Chop Shop, so I get to hear these stories all the time. I've had people come on and tell me about Bigfoot, and I've heard that Bigfoot can cloak. He can make himself invisible. I've heard stories that people say Bigfoot can not only cloak, but he can sometimes transport from place to place. Okay. I've heard all these stories, guys, all this weird stuff. And I'm going to be honest. Some of these people are my friends that are telling me these stories. So I want to believe them. I just physically don't. And I hope no one thinks I'm an asshole for that, guys. I don't believe in it. Okay. Because I have been hunting in these woods where Bigfoot supposedly lives here in California for the last 15 years straight. And I've never seen a track. I've never had anything happen. Okay. So the video I'm actually sending myself right now to show you guys is going to explain kind of the story I just told. It's going to show you that footprint right outside my trailer. What it doesn't show, though, is like 4 hours later, I don't have a phone signal where I'm at because I'm so far out deep in the mountains in the woods. So if I drive to this certain mountain like 20 minutes away from where I'm camped, I'll get a phone signal. Now, when I go there to use my phone, if I was to try to call you just on the regular telephone service, it doesn't really go through. But if I use Messenger and I make a phone call through Messenger, I can use FaceTime or just regular phone call through Messenger. It works perfect. So I was on with a lady named Cassie, and we were on FaceTime. And I was telling her not to book a show for tonight or set up a show for tonight. I won't be here. I'm not going to be home. I'm staying up in the mountains an extra day. So while I'm talking to her, I'm using FaceTime. I don't use FaceTime a lot. So I'm trying to show her, and I'm walking down the side of my pickup. Okay, my pickup is facing this way. So I'm walking from the front of my truck towards the back of my truck. I'm parked on the side of a dirt road in the middle of the mountains, no one around. I'm trying to zoom my phone in as I'm walking, guys, and I can't do it. So I get frustrated and I come to a complete stop, right? But as soon as I stop trying to get the phone to zoom in, a rock comes down from out of nowhere, hits the bed of the truck so hard, the lady on the phone screams because it sounded like it hit my truck with a hammer, and she screams, "What the was that?" And I go, "Someone just threw a effing rock at me." I get so mad that I look up to where the rock came from, which I figure someone has a deer blind there, and I just didn't see him. And I start telling him, "Do you throw another rock at me, you picked the wrong guy, I'll whoop your ass. Like, I'm going to hurt you when I find you." So I stayed there for like 15 minutes looking for this person, just waiting for him to move because I know he's got camouflage on and I can't see him. And nothing, I never could find anything. So something threw a rock at me, and I never could find what threw the rock at me 4 hours after I recorded that video. It's all happening like at one time. So I go from not really believing in Bigfoot to there is a possibility that there is something huge out in the woods that leaves these huge footprints and possibly threw a rock at me.
Wow.
I couldn't find anybody, and I looked for a good 15 minutes. That poor lady was on the phone. I at one point I had just dropped the phone in the seat. I could hear her talking. I actually had my bow in my hand, and I was looking up the mountain for somebody. I was that mad because the rock, guys, I can't even explain it. It just barely missed my face when it came down. When I stopped, I would have kept walking. It would have hit me right in the head. But I stopped, and it hit the truck. Bang! As soon as I stopped, it hit the truck. It was that fast. It was.
And it took a chunk out of the paint, right? It went down to the metal.
Yeah, I sent Enzo a video of that too. It took a chunk out of my paint and went down into the metal of the truck. It's now rusted. It took the primer and everything out. That little hole now is rusted already from me being up there in the rain last week. But yeah, okay. I think that video should be sent now. I'm going to see if I can share it. Okay, we'll see what happens. Hopefully my internet is going to hold up.
You sure you don't want to hold on to this for your own channel?
No.
He's a nice man. He shares his excitement.
I have to be honest. That was very courteous of you to say that, because I was thinking the same thing. It's like you haven't talked to anybody about this except for like
I know, but you know what? Honestly, if I was a Bigfoot guy or something, I would hold on to it for my channel or something. But I think everyone needs to see this, guys. I'm one of those people that absolutely will not fake anything because I run this show. And if you were to come on my show and tell a story that you made up and I found out, I'd be a little mad. I'd be a little disappointed.
I'd be pissed. Yeah.
Yeah, because we're trying to find true answers here, guys. We're not trying to make stuff up. We don't want to do that. We have enough people making fake stuff already. So like when you see something that actually I recorded, you can bet that it's 100% real. Like, yeah, I'm not one of those people that even are very good on a computer. So there's no way I could go in and make a video. If you guys go look at my channel, the first video I've ever made that I put together was me driving the side-by-side, and that was just like 4 days ago. It's the first video I ever made, dude. It was so easy. My phone did it all for me, so it added music to it. But yeah, other than that, that's about as high tech as I get, y'all. Here we go. That's right outside my trailer.
Oh, that's a nice trailer.
I know what I look for when I look for tracks.
I sure cannot explain that track.
Holy
never seen a track
moly!
Yes,
before as
and
big as
remember, my
foot
boot is
with a
almost
boot
12
on.
inches long. It's 11 inches long.
Twice as wide. There's 1,
You can
2,
see the
3,
toes.
4,
Yep.
5
No
toe
claw
marks.
marks, just toes. And then
And
I'll
it-
lower
it's-
the
Like a
camera right
heel.
now
I'll
so
try
you
to
can
get it
see the
from
pad of
side
its
so you can
foot.
see the indention
Look,
in the ground. That's right outside my
Whoa.
trailer.
now what I didn't notice is there is
I
another
don't believe in
footprint to the
Bigfoot,
left
y'all,
of it.
because I ain't seen one.
You guys will see it.
But-
I just didn't.
God damn, that's a big ass footprint. Like I said, it's just bigger than my boot. Holy fuck.
I'm sorry for the cussing, but I was
sure hope that
honestly
was something
scared.
that accidentally made that. If Bigfoot's real, that's one big son of a bitch right there.
Wow.
Now, how far was that from like your front door of your trailer?
That far right there.
How far
That-
is that? Would you say?
That's probably 20 feet. And then you
Damn.
know what? I'm gonna go back and put it on the second footprint right now, so you guys can see there is actually a second footprint that I just didn't notice. I was so
Right outside
focused
my
on that
trailer.
perfect one, I didn't see the other one.
I'm hunting.
It's just to the
I know what
left,
I
and you're
look-
gonna see the toe
look for when I
prints.
look for tracks. I sure cannot explain that
It's
track.
right there.
Oh, yeah,
It's right
it is
to the
there.
left. You can see
Yeah.
the toe prints, and I did not
That was
see
it.
this, guys.
Mm.
It
I've
comes
never
in
seen
again
a
at
track
57
before as big
seconds.
as
I went
my
down and
foot
checked it.
with a boot on.
We'll skip
Twice
over
as
to it.
wide. Ass footprint.
It's right here.
Like I
Look, you can
said,
see it right here.
It's
Just in that
Just
quick
off to the
little.
side.
Yeah, I'll
Wow.
It's as if it's stood there
said.
for like it's come up and stopped and stood
Damn,
there
that's
for a
a
little
big
while.
ass footprint.
Yep,
Like I
right there. Right here. There's another one. I just didn't see it because it wasn't perfect like this. But after
Right.
I watched the video, I can see the toe marks, and I was like, "Shit, there was another one. I didn't even notice it."
said.
And like I said, I've never had anything. I've never had no experiences like this in my life, guys. This all happened just a few weeks ago in one day. I recorded this video in the morning, and like 4 hours later, someone threw a rock at my truck, or something threw a rock at my truck in the middle of nowhere, 20 minutes from the campsite. I can't tell you that Bigfoot's real, guys, but now I can 100% tell you that it might be real. Before I was like,
Or
you
there's
know,
there's
like,
an NBA player stalking your campground.
yeah, unless Shaq was walking around out there
Yeah,
barefooted,
Shaquille
there's something
O'Neal.
huge out there.
Without
That is awesome. And thank you for sharing that story.
No
I
problem.
was actually after the one with the stinky dead thing, and you still
this is
said
after that.
Okay,
This is
you know
what
what?
happened after that.
That's what happened after that. You see where the trailer's pulled. I already shut it off, but okay, I pulled the trailer up there. Well, when I pulled in that night, my father-in-law was camped next to me. My sister-in-law was camped next to him. Me and my wife pulled in, and I told her, "Oh, there's something dead in the camp. Can you smell it?" And it was just horrible, dead corpse smell, like from a dead deer or a dead something. Just real bad. Well, I was unloading the truck and trailer, setting up the camp. I went in, and when I came out, it had been a total time lapse of about an hour. Okay. Well, when something dies up here, it's hot in the mountains where I live, because I live in California. So it don't get too cold up there yet. It has to be wintertime for that. And here we're in the middle of summer. When something dies up there, your bodies have a lot of fats trapped in the meat, and you just have a layer of fat around a body of an animal too. There's silts and everything else in there. That's fat tissues. Those melt from the heat here. And what it does is it makes a big grease spot underneath where the animal was dead. So if you have a carcass that you're smelling, and you go to find that carcass, but the carcass is dragged off by a bigger animal, you'll still find the spot where it was dead and laying there, because you get just this big round grease spot where this body was laying. And humans do it too. Like if you were to put a human in the dirt, that you're going to get the same thing. So then it gives off the same smell, real horrible smell. So that was out there. Well, like an hour later, it was gone. So I was like, okay, the wind shifted, but it shifted so good I can't smell the smell no more. but it wasn't that windy. So the next morning I got up and I had my hunting dog with me. He's a little weenie dog, Dapple weenie dog is what he is, Dapple Dachshund, and he's a good smeller. He's a good hunter. And so I put him on the tracks, like I want to find that dead carcass because the smell was totally gone. I could not find anything dead for, I don't even know, a good 50 to 70 acres circled around my camp that I walked out. I started walking, just looking for this dead thing so I could see what it was that got killed. And there was nothing. No print on the ground. No.
See, even if there was something dead out there and something else over the night had like drug it off, there would still be like a big grease spot.
Yeah,
is
and there'd
basically
still
what
be a
it turns out.
smell, maybe not as strong, but there'd still be an odor.
And,
Oh
and
yeah,
you'd
you would
certainly
definitely
find that.
smell it, and you would see
Oh,
that
yeah.
grease spot. You would follow the smell straight to the grease spot. Within 100 yards, you'll be able to find it. It's that pungent when something dies like that. And there was absolutely nothing. So I made the joke and told my father-in-law, "Hey, that smell's gone." And all these people I talked to on the show, they said Bigfoot stinks like that. And then 2 weeks later, that's when I end up having this experience, about a week and a half to 2 weeks later. Okay, here we go. Let's play it. Make sure you guys can hear it. Guys, I'm back the next day. So this is Tuesday. Everything's good. Looking at the print again, I should have had it. This time I noticed that in here, where the toe marks are, actually dug in. Let me show you guys here. When a deer walks up, they have two marks they make. And when they walk up a hill, it looks like this. You'll see the two marks here at the bottom of their mark. When they walk up, it does that. When a human or something walks up a hill barefooted, we dig in with our toes. We dig in like this. They dig in and we kind of slip. It has these dig in prints, where they go up in there. See, my fingers went up in as I'm trying to crawl up this hill. I'm reaching and grabbing. They kind of, your fingers grip just like your toes do. We noticed those are gripped in. These holes, they're gripped inwards. Like here's the top, here's the bottom is in here. Top's out here. So straight down is like this. So it's that much deeper in than straight down in here. So something dug in when I walked up this hill. Whatever it was, had a big ass foot. If that is a footprint, I stepped on that stick right there. Crunch. That's how much bigger it is than my foot, guys. I put my foot in the heel of it. It's that big. Here's the heel back here. And it's smashed way in the ground. This was all wet when that made that track. Yeah, you guys can see there's stuff growing out of it. And then there's a spider web that I'm about to show you that I pulled out of it already. I pulled that out like the day before. And it's already back in there. But those, I'm not saying those plants weren't there, but they've grown back and they're popping out of the ground. They're not just all smashed and dead. You know what I mean? Like that's alive in the footprint. So that's been there probably since it snowed. So, and then also at the end too, there's a formation type thing at the back of it. It looks, that's where the track's headed. Like we stood behind it to see like where was it going? Whatever made this, where was it going? And then it's going straight towards this big, huge wood pile with a big hole entrance. I was like, dude, there's no fucking way I would go in there. Keep going. Oh, and there's going to be more that Donnie found just on the other side of this hill where it was walking up, but they're headed back towards us. And there's so much foliage that's growing out of it. You guys can't really see it on the camera. We can. And then I push the foliage down and out of the way so you guys can see it. And then you can kind of see it, but you're still not seeing it like we do. We're seeing it.
Prints
like
don't show on camera very well at all.
You can kind of see it, but it don't show up like this does or the other one. This one was just easy to see. It was right out the truck window. But all right. Like I said, Donnie's the one that found these other ones, though, when I'm going to show them to you right now in the video, too. Here we go.
And Rocky's in it right now. He's checking it out.
Yeah, my dog's a weenie
What is
dog,
that, Rock?
and it's almost as long as he is wide.
Who made that,
I mean, the
buddy?
wide as he is
Who
long.
made that? You know? It's just big. You don't know what did it?
He smells the toes, but he don't want to go find it. And he hunts anything, Nikki.
Show me where it went, buddy.
Really?
Come up.
Certainly interested in it. That's for sure.
He will hunt anything. That dog will tree a bear. Watch, Rocky, be on kill. See? Anything. That's my daughter. He's just tapping. Rocky, yeah.
Don't eat my daughter.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, anything you tell him to, and you watch his reaction when I tell him right now. Here we go, guys.
You want that up. I'm
Watch.
That. Show. It's just big. You don't know what did it?
That's it.
Show me where it went, buddy. Hunt him up. He's like, you hunt that up. I'm hunting that. Might have been born in the daytime, but it wasn't yesterday time.
So yeah, the other tracks are here too because there's Donnie's truck, so he's there with me.
Oh,
Oh, let me back it up real
like I
quick.
said, got
Let's see here. I was parked. Oh, that's gonna be too hard to hit. Okay, see the rock right here, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little tree right there. My bumper of my truck was like right here. Okay, the back bumper and then the front of the truck came out here. So I was parked right here off the road when I was actually walking in that little creek thing right there.
Uh-huh.
That's why when it hit the truck, my face was so close to it because I was down lower. So it hit the truck and fell and rolled down that to my feet. But I was parked right here. So in this big opening right here, that's where I threw the rock, and I made it probably just on the other side of here somewhere. I was throwing it uphill. That was my theory. Whoever threw that at me was throwing it downhill. It must have came out of here, to make it down there because I throw pretty damn hard, and it did not go very far. Okay, yeah. So yeah, now you can see I was parked right there the first time, and that's where it got hit. And then you see that big ass pile of wood right there.
Oh, yeah.
I'll show it at the end of the video too, better. But you see the big hole in it. You'll see when it looks like a damn wood hut.
Yeah.
So we started looking for more prints, and we found this crazy looking thing. Could be maybe there might be toes in there. That don't look like a good one like I've been seeing. And then there's this. Looks like it might have some toes in there. There was a good intention Donnie found down here in this grass. You can't see that very well, but there's a intention here.
See, now you can kind of see it.
Sunk down in the ground.
That's the back of the
The
foot,
same depth as that other one.
and then
indentions
there's
here,
the toes
here,
right there.
and there. Like toes again. Guess you guys can't see that.
Huh.
But it's way down in the ground, Nikki, just like the first one or that second one. The one I just showed you guys.
Yeah.
It's sunk way down in there, and it's a big old. You can put your hand in the whole
That's
thing.
that way.
It's
Wow.
all even.
If that's another print. We looked all over here, and if you follow the print, it's going to there.
See,
Man, I wonder-
I ain't trying to go in there. You gonna go in there?
I'd go in there.
You'd go.
I'd go in
Yeah,
there.
I didn't want to go in there, so I did not. Look, there's a big old broken stick right there. Hey,
How
whatever
big is that
broke-
opening there at the bottom?
It's this big right here. Can't you see it? It looks this big.
Well, I don't know if that's 2 feet, 8 feet, 12 feet.
It was about 4 feet, maybe 3 feet.
Okay.
It's pretty big. I could have just bent down and walked in there, but I'm only 5'7". So yeah. Yep. I'll keep going. Here we go.
So it looks like there's a little entrance right there. big, I don't know. I guess when they cut down all the trees, they pile them up like this. See, there's another one right there.
There was no entrance in that one.
Then they come in here and
Oh.
pull them out of here.
That pile I just showed you right there, Nikki.
Yeah.
That's about that rock that I threw back. It landed right here in front of this, just past these little
Right
trees.
there.
It landed about right here. And this is where I was yelling stuff back into, because it felt like that rock came from somebody was right here when they threw it at me, because it hit the truck hard enough to chip the paint down to the fucking metal. Primer and everything came
amazing.
out. It's already rusted over now. You can barely see it. My daughter called me, and she lives in the house right next door to ours, so it touches our yard. We live in the country. There's only 2 houses, and it's ours and my daughter's. So she calls and says, "Dad, there's some guy standing." So I'm gonna face out towards my driveway in the street. The street runs this way, back and forth, east and west. So she calls and says, "Dad, there's some guy standing across the street, but right in front of my driveway, and he's got his shirt off, like no shirt." And she said he looked like a Mexican guy with short hair, but she said he was all pasty white. She goes, "I don't know if he's a tweaker or what, but he's just standing out in front of my driveway, but he's looking back at your driveway. He's looking back towards where my cars are, all my toys and shit." So I was like, "Oh, hell no." And I had just sat down on my bed. I didn't have my clothes off or nothing, no boots off. I was just ready to go. And my wife was in there with me. I told her what happened. I grabbed my flashlight and my gun, went straight out here. So within the time I got off the phone with her and I was out to where she said he was, I was across the street on my side of the road to where she said he was across the street on the other side of the road. Okay, I was right there within maybe 45 seconds. Okay, so I was out there that fast.
Yeah.
Now, behind him on across the street, I live in the middle of like 120 acres of almonds or something like that, 100 acres of almonds. So across the street, directly behind him is almond trees. And all he's got to do is hide, behind the almond tree. It's nighttime. And I'm out there with a flashlight. So I can't see him. I can't find the guy. Okay. And Deanna's out there with me now. And so I'm on my side of the road. He's across the street somewhere. I turn the flashlight off and I tuck the gun and flashlight into my chest. And I stand in the dark where he can't see me now. And I turn around and put my back to him. That way, when he takes off running, I can hear better that way. Trust me.
Yeah.
My back
Oh,
to
yeah.
you. If I take one sense away, the other one heightens.
Yeah.
Okay. So I turn my back to him and I kind of shut my eyes. And I told Dee just to stand there, and I'm waiting for him to take off running so I can turn around and catch his ass running away from me, And what happened was I turned around and told Dee to stand there, and I'm standing with the flashlight off for about 10 seconds, and I hear him running. The problem is he's not running away. He's running straight up behind me.
Oh my God.
So he's running out of a dark ass almond orchard straight up behind me as soon as his feet hit the street, because now he's only like 10 feet behind me. As soon as his feet hit the street, I turn around with a flashlight and my gun with a laser on him.
Oh my God.
And it's not a person. I live in Fresno, California, guys. There's nothing here, no wild animals here, okay?
And no jungles or forests close to here.
No. Like I live 2.5 hours from the mountains where I got to go hunt. This is all flat. I'm 420 feet above sea level. So we're in the mountains. Okay.
Right.
So it runs out of the field and I turn around, put my light and laser on it. It is a black wolf. A big, huge black wolf. And my wife, she's scared of dogs. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
She's never seen a wolf before. And it's like 4 times bigger than any husky you've ever seen in your life. A wolf is
huge.
Humongous.
Right?
Yes. So I know exactly what it is. And it's lit up with the flashlight. Right on it. It stops running at me. As soon as the light hit it, it stopped running at me and turned and ran parallel with the road. Okay. And I kept the laser and the light on it. And I told my wife, I want to shoot it. And she said, yes, kill that fucking thing. And so now I bring the gun up and I quit using the laser and I'm using my night sights. So I make sure I kill it with one shot and not use the laser. It's easier for me with the night sights.
Right.
So I just put it in the sights. And as soon as I had like that heart shot perfect, I felt my finger come off the trigger and I put it on the side of the gun. And I looked back at my wife and I go, I can't shoot it. And I just pointed the gun down and she goes, what? I go, I can't kill it. I go, babe, that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
I go, I think that had to have got out of somebody's yard. You know, I can't kill that. And then it's still running down the road. Well, it got to about right here where my garage is, this wall you guys see, but out here in the road. And then it turns and crosses the street. So now it's on the same side of the road as us. And it runs into the almond orchard over this way. I called him and told him, man, big old black wolf, you know, who has a wolf around here called Papa Willie. And he said, nobody has a big old black wolf. You know, and the next day I was telling him, you know, but that night, okay, so the black wolf runs into the almond orchard. Me and my wife, we come back in the gate. I shut the gate, come through here, go back in the house. And this time I got all the way in bed. All right. So I was naked in bed going to sleep. Like, so I was in bed and I remember laying there and I shut my eyes and I must have just fell asleep. And what I dreamed in my head or what I heard was my spirit guide, I guess. He said, just said one word, 2 words. He said, Skinwalker. And I said straight up in bed and I went, Deanna, what happened to the dude we went out there to find? Totally forgot about the guy.
Oh
Never
my
once
goodness.
thought about him
Think
again
about
until
it.
I hit the
mean,
bed and
think
thought
about
that in my mind when in my sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Skinwalker. That's what I heard. I just said straight up. Now
If
I was
it was
spooked
all
out.
face
I was
to
like,
face.
And you
That
talked
guy
to your
was
daughter,
fucking
and she was so clear what she had seen.
yeah. I was like, did that guy turn into a fucking wolf? Was he not a Mexican guy? Was it an Indian guy?
Oh
Yep.
my.
But you know, it could have been a skinwalker. I mean, that's the situation. You're never going to have a true answer unless that guy comes back around again.
And then somebody said, no, it would have got you. But I wear this because I'm American Indian.
There you go.
And I keep.
What about like this?
I keep
Show.
a
I'm
note.
sharing
Oh, you
something.
got something?
They just not. There's actually
Let me
people
see.
read them again too.
It's coming. Here it
You'll
comes.
see him. He's that black dot right in the middle. Look.
Okay, there you go. That's what we seen. A black wolf just like that. Big,
They're called
huge
dire
son
wolves.
of a bitch.
It's a
Look
dire-
at how big it is compared to that dog.
Way
Yeah.
bigger than a dog.
Oh, that is kind of sus that there was a guy. Now there's this giant wolf.
Yeah,
that is
so that-
kind of
and
sus. That's pretty
Before I went
sus.
in, too, all I thought was that wolf came from somebody's yard. I never
The coy
thought
wolf.
about the dude until I got in bed and heard that in my head. Skinwalker. I was like, ah.
Highly
But he-
possible.
He can't get me because that medicine bag is blessed. by
It might have been why he didn't try to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's not supposed to be able to hurt me.
That's crazy.
Might have been exactly what stopped him.
I don't know. Oh, that gun would have stopped him.